The UK records 917 deaths since yesterday as doctors warn of a dangerous lack of protective clothing. The British Prime Minister Boris Johnson tells friends he owes his life to the doctors and nurses who treated him for Covid-19. In the US, more than 500,000 confirmed infections. The number of dead rises above 20,000. In India, the minority Muslim community is mistakenly blamed for the spread of the coronavirus. The Queen's first ever Easter message. Coronavirus, she says, will not overcome us. Spain has recorded its lowest number of daily deaths for nearly 3 weeks. The total number of people who've died in the country now stands at more than 16,000. The government plans to ease some lockdown restrictions next week. Italy has extended the country's strict lockdown for a further 3 weeks. A limited number of businesses will be allowed to reopen, but most have been told that they will have to remain closed until early May. That's prompted warnings of an economic catastrophe. And Sweden's Prime Minister has admitted that his country was not properly prepared for the pandemic. Sweden has allowed restaurants and pubs to stay open as long as customers have enough space to observe hygiene precautions. The Prime Minister warned that these businesses would be shut down if they did not comply with social distancing measures. Now, you might have noticed the word Brandon, or the phrase "Happy Birthday, Brandon," trending in the UK and around the world. Well, that is because of this tweet. Jody Smith took to social media to help give his geography-loving son Brandon a special 12th birthday because Brandon couldn't have a party. Jody asked for people to comment where they live so that Brandon could mark it all on his map. The results have been huge. More than 62,000 replies. Has he told you which are the favourite places that you guys have heard from in the day that he's so excited to have heard from?
Yeah, Tasmania kind of surprised him, and probably Ascension Island, and that's in the middle of the Atlantic between Africa and South America. So he was pretty surprised to see that come up.
Do you know, I mean, there we are. I can see there's the map of Ascension Island. It's always that dot in between Latin America and Africa. Are there any places left which hasn't contacted you? What about Antarctica?
No, I have not seen Antarctica come up yet. So if there's any scientists down there that are watching, go ahead and fire us off a tweet and be happy to put that on there for him.
Jody Smith and Brandon there.
The United States has become the first country in the world to record more than 2,000 coronavirus deaths in a single day. There's now been more than 20,000 deaths across the USA and more than 500,000 confirmed infections. A major disaster has been declared in all states in response to the outbreak.
Easter celebrations will take place across the world today, but without worshippers gathering together. Pope Francis has been leading the traditional Easter vigil at St. Peter's in Rome without a congregation. He will live stream his Easter Sunday Mass, while the Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, will deliver his sermon via webcam from the kitchen table.
Well, the Queen has delivered an Easter message. She urged people to focus on the meaning of Easter, of light overcoming the dark, just as we as a nation would overcome this pandemic. It is believed to be the first Easter address that she has made. It was recorded in isolation in Windsor Castle.